But I remember him helping out another kid once, and we would joke, "You don't know anything, how can you help?" But he did his best to help the kid out. He's a great friend, really great.
Ele é amigo mesmo. Penso que ele é amigo.
Se reparares bem aqui vai aos 70%. E aqui chega já quase aos 100%, estás a perceber? E se vês aqui, este não tem nada a ver com este.
Paulo Cardoso and Leonel Pontes became Ronaldo's coaches, friends and parents, and Ronaldo needed them as he was forced to grow up overnight. One way that Cristiano could forget his problems was to focus on his unwavering desire to become the best.
No ping-pong, no tennis, no...
He wanted to be the best at everything, whether it was table tennis, pool, table football, 1 against 1, or even a simple race to see who was the quickest. That was an important characteristic of his. He was so determined in everything he did. In football, his team simply had to win. And in a top-notch player, hard work is very important.
He had a dream. He really wanted to be someone.
Back in Madeira, his family followed his blossoming career. But life for Dolores was tough without her youngest child.
At first, I would still hear the door open as if he was coming home. But I got used to his absence and accepted that he was far away.
Back in Lisbon, Ronaldo's teammates became his adoptive family. He was the youngest in his group of friends, but because he was the best player, he became a natural leader.
Cristiano had a close group of friends. Although he was young, he had a strong personality and character. Even with the older kids, he had the upper hand as they respected him. I remember once when he was coming home from school, he and some friends were robbed. He was the youngest, but his older friends ran away. He fought back against the muggers, and no one robbed him. That said a lot about his personality.
As well as honing his skills on the pitch, Ronaldo also worked hard in the gym.
Once we caught him working out in the gym without any authorization at 1 in the morning. Why? Because he always wanted to work, to achieve more.
Even in their rooms, some kids would work out every day. They saw it as a way of improving. They knew they would get better.
Although they received some money as part of his contract, Ronaldo's family continued to work hard to support him. They sent him cash and gifts whenever they could.
When Ronaldo first started at Sporting, he earned €50 a month, and that really wasn't much at the time. His friends all wore designer clothes and shoes. So his brother and sisters and I started sending him an allowance so he could buy stuff and keep out of trouble.
I remember him asking for a pair of all-star trainers. I bought them for him and sent them together with a €50 note. He was so happy.
Cristiano never forgot what his family had done for him. Later, he would be able to reciprocate their kindness.
He talked a lot about that. He was going to make his dreams come true. And my mother wouldn't need to work again. That was one of his main goals.
He was also loyal to his friends at Sporting.
One day he came to me and he said he needed a favour. There was another young player called Semedo, who he knew we couldn't keep on, because there weren't enough beds at the training centre. But he asked me to make an effort to keep him here. He even said, "He can sleep in my bed." We could put a sofa or mattress near my bed so he could stay.
I think I've always had a good heart. I don't bear any grudges, I'm happy to say. We put the beds together and the three of us slept together.
On the pitch, Ronaldo was getting better and better.
In one of the junior national championship games, I remember he received the ball from the kick-off in the second half. He saw that the goalkeeper was off his line and scored from inside his own half.
Throughout his formative years, he was always the best player in any of the tournaments he played in.
The teenage phenomenon even caught the eye of none less than Jose Mourinho, who was then the coach of União de Leiria.
I remember the first time I saw him play. He was playing for Sporting, and they were up against União de Leiria. We were watching the game because we had a training session afterwards. I told my assistant, "There goes Van Basten's son." Then he was an elegant striker, with a good quality of movement and great technique. Really elegant. When he played back then, he resembled Van Basten. He played as a striker, but I didn't even know his name. But he definitely stood out from the other players.
Mas ficou-nos imediatamente na rotina, tal era a diferença de qualidade relativamente aos outros.
At just 15 years of age, he was the standout player in Sporting's world-famous youth academy.
Olá, sou Cristiano Ronaldo.
Hi, I'm Cristiano Ronaldo. I started playing for Sporting at 11. Back then we didn't have the facilities that the academy here has today. I hope more players come through the ranks here, because they've got great facilities, and I'm sure that a lot of star players are going to emerge here in the future.
By then, Ronaldo had started to play alongside the seniors in training. After a practice game against Coimbra, he even gave his first autographs. By 2002, Cristiano was appearing in Sporting's first team. Yet he didn't rest on his laurels. Once again, he went for a secret workout in the gym.
I found him in the gym and I asked him, "Ronaldo, what are you doing?" "I'm training," he said. He had 2 weights, one on either foot, and was dribbling with a ball. He was training his dribbles with weights because he knew that he would improve his technique and that without the weights, he would be even faster.
That same year, he played his first European game against Inter in the preliminary stages of the Champions League. Yet, as he set off for Italy, Ronaldo's mind was obviously elsewhere.
He had the Sporting suit, but no smart shoes. No shoes at all. So, because we wore the same size, he asked me to lend him a pair. I lent him the pair that I'd worn at my own wedding. He wore the Sporting suit and my shoes. On the return trip, Rui Jorge stole his shoes because he was the youngest in the squad, and he ended up coming back barefoot.
His final outing for Sporting was an unexpected one. It came in August 2003 as the club played a pre-season friendly to celebrate the opening of their new Alvalade stadium. The opponents were none other than Manchester United, who well knew the qualities of Cristiano Ronaldo. The day before the game, Sporting and United had signed a preliminary agreement allowing him to go to England a year later. But Ronaldo changed all that with his performance against his future club.
I remember being very nervous. I was speaking to my friend Semedo, and he said, "Tomorrow you're going to play against Manchester United. Knock them out. Play to your very best, and maybe they'll even sign you." I said, "No way."